Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Sunday, December 6, 2020. Al Jazeera report. Greek police detain dozens to stop march in memory of slain teen. Police in Greece's capital have detained dozens of people who defied a coronavirus-related ban to take part in the annual commemoration of the fatal shooting of 15-year-old Alexandros Grigoropoulos by a police officer in 2008. Some 4,000 police officers were deployed on Sunday to prevent gatherings and will continue to do so until the early hours of Monday. Footage posted online showed riot police on Sunday afternoon entering apartment buildings in Exarcheia, a neighborhood in central Athens, to flush out would-be protesters.
CNN report. A teacher who turned his home into a PPE factory during the pandemic was honored with a new car. When healthcare workers were running out of personal protective equipment as the coronavirus pandemic spread across the United States, a middle school shop teacher in New Jersey decided he had to help. Want more inspiring, positive news? Sign up for The Good Stuff, a newsletter for the good in life. It will brighten your inbox every Saturday morning. Jason Erdrich turned his own home into a factory where he used 3D printers to make thousands of masks for his community during the pandemic.
Deutsche Welle report. Romania election. Liberals and Social Democrats in neck-and-neck race, exit polls show. Romania's parliamentary election appeared too close to call, with exit polls released Sunday evening showing a dead heat between the governing Liberals and the left-wing opposition. One exit poll put the center-right National Liberal Party (PNL) at 32%, with the left-wing Social Democrats (PSD) garnering 28%. Another exit poll showed a different outcome, putting the PSD, who have dominated Romanian politics since the fall of communism in 1989, ahead at 30%.
Al Jazeera report. Georgia governor rebuffs Trump attempt to overturn vote. Georgia's governor will not acquiesce to pressure from President Donald Trump to call a special session of the state's legislature in an attempt to overturn the state's election results, his deputy said. Lieutenant Governor of Georgia Jeff Duncan told CNN on Sunday he and his boss, Governor Brian Kemp, are certainly not going to move the goalposts at this point in the election. The statement comes after Trump reportedly called Kemp, a Republican, on Saturday and asked for his help in overturning the election results by calling a special session of the state legislature so the Republican-controlled body could appoint electors who would override the state results.
Fox report. Sweden's pandemic experiment ends amid spiking coronavirus cases. Sweden's COVID-19 experiment is over. After a late autumn surge in infections led to rising hospitalizations and deaths, the government has abandoned its attempt, unique among Western nations, to combat the pandemic through voluntary measures. Like other Europeans, Swedes are now heading into the winter facing restrictions ranging from a ban on large gatherings to curbs on alcohol sales and school closures, all aimed at preventing the country's health system from being swamped by patients and capping what is already among the highest per capita death tolls in the world.
Deutsche Welle report. Bavaria plans coronavirus curfews in some hotspots, even at New Year. Bavaria, Germany's 13 million southern region, with its third highest new infection metrics, faces tougher controls from Wednesday, including local curfews in hotspots and partial school closures. Emerging from a Bavarian cabinet video conference Sunday, Premier Markus Söder said older school classes, from grade 8 onwards, would alternate between attending school or being taught remotely, especially if infection rates rose.
CNN report. Europe's social safety net is often considered the gold standard. Coronavirus has exposed its holes. Rhys Davies is usually busiest at Christmas, building magnificent sets and stages for London's most sparkling parties and events. This year, the fairy tale is cancelled. Davies, a self-employed carpenter, hasn't worked since March because of the pandemic and has no idea when she may do so again. She's living in temporary accommodation found for her in the city by St. Mungo's, a homelessness charity, while a plan to get her into permanent housing is on hold.
Fox report. Baby Jane Doe, identified after being found in Mississippi River 38 years ago. After 38 years, a small child found floating in a Mississippi River has been identified, only deepening her mysterious cold case death. 18-month-old Alicia Ann Heinrich, of Joplin, Mo. was known over the decades as Baby Jane Doe, until DNA and genetic genealogy cracked the case. The 38th anniversary of her discovery in the Escatapa River in Pascagoula was Saturday. Jackson County Sheriff Mike Ezell on Friday announced the big break in the case.
Deutsche Welle report. COVID-19. Mulled wine stands spark controversy in Cologne. A Christmas market work-around in Cologne has become a source of rising tension in the western German city. Outdoor stands offering mulled wine have become popular, with locals eager to claw back a sense of normality over the festive period. However, vendors face criticism from others who see the stalls and their surroundings as potential super-spreader sites. Karl Lauterbach, an epidemiologist and MP with the center-left Social Democrats (SPD), sharply criticized the stands, saying that over the weekend they were full.
BBC report. Andhra Pradesh, India officials investigate mystery illness. The patients, from Eluru in Andhra Pradesh, had a wide range of symptoms from nausea to fits and falling unconscious, doctors said. A number of beds at Eluru Government Hospital have been freed up in case they are needed. The illness comes as India continues to battle the coronavirus pandemic. Local media said the patients had taken coronavirus tests, all of which were negative. Many of those hospitalized recovered and were quickly discharged.
Fox report. UK thieves target delivery trucks during Christmas season. Report. Gang-related raids on fast-moving delivery trucks in the United Kingdom have been increasing in recent weeks, as criminals target the shipment of expensive goods ahead of Christmas. From the start of the year until September, there have been at least 27 rollover raids reported to authorities, and the number has spiked in recent weeks, the Times newspaper reported. The stunt usually involves gangs using at least 3 vehicles to box in trucks on major roadways.
CNN report. A Minnesota elementary school teacher donates kidney to her school's custodian. Third-grade teacher Erin Durga says chills ran through her body the moment she learned a school custodian needed a kidney donation. She had an unshakable feeling that she would be the match to save him. Durga and school custodian Pat Mertens started working at Kimball Elementary School in Kimball, Minnesota, in the same year, 2011. For the past 9 years, their families have been well acquainted. Durga's children called Mertens Papa, as they grew up in his wife's daycare.
Al Jazeera report. May God give us patience. Palestinians mourn child killed. Ali Abu Alia had just turned 15 on Friday when Israeli forces shot and killed him using live ammunition at a protest in al-Mughayyir village in the occupied West Bank. He was excited to have a birthday party later in the evening, especially since the Abu Alia family is religious and did not usually celebrate. But Ali's father, Ayman, had let his wife know that this time they were going to throw him a party.
BBC report. COVID. U.S. vaccine chief Slaoui sees light at end of the tunnel. Moncef Slaoui said he hoped the Food and Drug Administration (FDA) could give the go-ahead to a vaccine when it meets this week. But for life to get back to normal by spring, Americans still needed to follow safety measures, he added. The U.S. has seen record infections in recent days, with a daily death toll of more than 2,000. The latest surge in cases is putting strain on hospitals, with large parts of the state of California set to enter new lockdown restrictions on Sunday.
BBC report. Indonesia minister accused of bribery following raid. Juliari Batubara is accused of taking cash from contractors supplying food aid parcels to people in need. Anti-corruption agents discovered more than 14.5 billion rupiah, $1 million, 760,000 pounds, stuffed into suitcases and other containers, and arrested 4 suspects during a raid on Saturday. Mr. Juliari turned himself in on Sunday. The money was stored in 7 suitcases, 3 backpacks, and in envelopes, Firly Bahori, chief of the Corruption Eradication Commission, said in a news conference.
CNN report. Gillian Maxwell to file new motion for release on bail, according to court filings. Gillian Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend and alleged accomplice who is currently being held in jail, will file a new motion for release on bail, according to court filings. Maxwell's attorneys told the court that she has assembled substantial information that was not available to present when she was denied bail at her initial hearing, as well as a proposed bail package that would be co-signed by family members and friends, who were unable to come forward at that time.
Fox report. Army veteran and D-Day hero SGT, Maj. Robert Blatnick dead at 100. An Army veteran from Texas who landed on Omaha Beach on D-Day with 900 men under his command has died at the age of 100. SGT, Maj. Robert Blatnick died Saturday. According to CBS 11 Dallas, Blatnick was 93 when he returned in 2013 to Omaha Beach, stopping at the exact spot where he landed on June 6, 1944. The station reported, "Oh dear Father, thank you for having saved my life," he said as he got down on his hands and knees on the hallowed ground.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.